And welcome to Moments Girls Talk. We're coming to you from our studio in Lagos, Nigeria. And today we're talking about abstinence in and before and in marriage. I had a little bit of a stutter right there. Because in Africa, religion and our society generally preaches that sex is for companionship and only morally right in marriage. How permissible is abstinence in marriage? Today on Moments Girls Talk with my ladies, we get to discuss about this particular topic right here.
Very interesting.
Abstinence before and in marriage.
So I definitely have always thought of, abstinence before marriage, but I've never thought of the fact that there's a time where there could be abstinence in marriage.
Well, I can, for some people who maybe, for instance, your religion might permit that there's a, like we have the Muslims who fast as well. Yeah. And, they do observe 30 days, and in those 30 days, they don't even want to see certain things because they're supposed to live a whole new life in that month. Now, I guess what they mean by in marriage is, do spouses communicate with themselves? Do they tell themselves before that, are we just going to be able to do the whole 30 days or, are we just not having sex? Or even where, maybe after childbirth, for instance, she's just not feeling it.
Definitely.
Do you have that conversation or do you just, lock up?
I think it's difficult. And I think, recently, in terms of abstinence before marriage, it's something that's definitely been gaining a lot of traction. There's been books, The Weight, which is a really famous book that was written about it. And it seems like a lot of people are becoming a lot more woke about,
I think sex makes us crazy as women. I think sex ruins everything.
It does. And you know what's interesting? I think it's because there was a time, right, where this was normal, where you were expected to wait until you got married. Then through, the feminist movement and emancipation and people feeling like you should be a bit more open. People started to say, you know what, just have sex when you find someone that you love or you're with. But then now I think we're beginning to see the repercussions of it. And the fact that, when you have sex with someone that you're not married to, it puts an expectation on them that you should not have.
And I particularly like what we're talking about today. To our viewers at home, I can tell you off the back of my head, certainly the ladies, why you should not have sex before marriage. You start to act crazy. Your trust is out the window. You start to get paranoid unnecessarily.
Paranoid over everything.
But you know what? We're going to go on a quick break. We have guests that will talk about this particular topic with us right after this.
You're watching Moments Girls Talk Nigeria. Our topic on the show today is abstinence before and in marriage. Yeah, it's going to get very, very interesting. But before that, we have two guests with us. First up, her real name is Tokunbo Idowu, the second runner-up of Big Brother Naija 2017, who hails from Edo State. She has a Nigerian father and a Romanian mother. Also joining us is Timi Dakolo, who is a Ghanaian-born Nigerian soul singer with a Nigerian father and a Ghanaian mother. He is the winner of the inaugural season of Idol West Africa in 2007, and he's also married to the beautiful Busola Dakolo. They have 3 adorable children. Welcome to Moments, guys.
So nice to see you. They just introduced like that.
I thought I feel like I just won an election.
Did you like it? You had all your accolades.
It's been 10 years since I feel old.
Idols.
I'm still here.
Wow, doing big things. That's amazing. And then welcome to the show, T-Boss.
Thank you.
How are you? So let's get talking. Let's talk about the Big Brother house, for instance. I've always wanted to ask, did you, how was the process of, I mean, this is me just asking. I see Big Brother as that show that just exposes everything. Big Brother is always watching.
Almost everything, because Big Brother Nigeria did not have the shower hour compared to the Big Brother Africa.
But did you always know you were going to go to the Big Brother
I've always wanted to go for it. I tried to go for it 4 years ago, but that was the African one. It didn't work out. So this time around, it just fell on my lap, and I thought, I might as well just give it a shot.
Were you nervous?
Sort of. Sort of. I mean, just thinking that your life would be out there for people to judge you and, form opinions about you that, without your permission or,
Because you were quite, I'm sorry to interrupt, Paulina, you were quite open in the house. So when you were kind of talking and saying things and having conversations, in the back of your mind, did you think, oh, wow, maybe I said too much or people are going to be listening and,
Sometimes. But the funny thing is, after a while, I kind of forgot that the cameras are there.
Wow. I wanted to ask that. Like, were you conscious of the camera to the end?
Not all the time. Okay. Not all the time. Sometimes I would be like, I'll say something or something would happen to me in the house, and I'm like, hope nobody saw that. But the cameras are always there, Even when I came out, I saw some moments that I thought Where for myself.
Do you like pick your nose and do some girl stuff?
Don't you?
I mean, but did you do that in front of the camera? Like, hi, camera.
No, you also would have done that.
You know what? The windows where camera behind, they had cameras, and sometimes I would just go there and yawn or scratch my nose or bust a pimple or something, and I'm like, oh Lord. Nobody caught me. Hope they're focused on someone else right now.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Timmy, it's been 10 years since Idol. You have, what do you call yourself? Your yard people?
The honor of the yard.
Your kids are adorable, though.
Yeah, I think they need their own reality TV show. Talking about reality TV, because you guys, I follow you guys on Snapchat, and just even the way your kids are not camera shy, and the way you even discipline sometimes on Snapchat, and the way you just interact with your family. Do you think that if you got like a reality TV show, would you do it?
It's going to be hard to control them, like to keep them together. I think my kids are 3 different people. They don't want to eat the same kind of thing. They don't want to sleep. Everybody wants to sleep close to their daddy. Oh. Everybody wants to, okay, let's sing this song. Everybody wants to start the song. Oh. This kind of people. So I didn't notice these things before. I was the guy that would wake up in the morning and do my own thing and say goodbye, hey, sing a song, and they're off to school. But my wife did travel, and it was now
time for you. I remember that time.
Yeah. It was,
so that's when you really bonded with them?
No, that was when I discovered that, man, this thing is a full-time job, and it was. And I think reality should know, but being like I mostly am in my house. I've noticed certain strengths in my children, what this can do, what this can do, what that can do. So I think I'm pushing them towards that line, though.
Do you want to have more kids?
You're going to be a stage parent.
No.
You're done.
No.
Baby, oh baby, you're like medicine to me. You give me everything I need.
Also, musically, we do have to say, well done. I mean, 10 years and 10 years now going strong. You've literally, you stayed on your path, and you've, sort of harnessed your craft. And there's musicians and there's Timmy Dakolo. What do you think is your staying power?
I always say creative people have to develop themselves.
Okay.
Because the world out there is changing fast. It's like life comes to you fast. And if you think you're good 2016, you have to add something to that next day, because somebody else is coming. Somebody else is coming. Somebody else, there's another side to what you think you know. Somebody else wants to talk better. Somebody else becomes favorite. So self-development it's you being significant over time. It's arming yourself to be significant.
That's brilliant.
Nice one, yeah.
So what about you, T-Boss? Like, what are some of your plans? You've come out of the Big Brother house now. What would you like to do? Because after a while, you guys will probably stop doing the tours based on Big Brother. So what are the plans?
That has actually slowed down now, because we've been out for almost 4 months.
It's been 4 months?
Yeah, almost.
It's gone really quickly.
Feels like just yesterday. One of the dreams I've always had with my friend, and all, I must have called her name 1,000 times in the house, was to finally meet Tyler Perry.
Oh.
Yes, to do a movie with him. And I recently did a movie called Sleeved. It's a short film.
Okay.
It's going to be aired soon. It's actually a very interesting topic, but I don't want to disclose here. Sorry, forgive me.
Okay.
But I actually just thought, or we decided, why not just do our own movie? We have a few scripts, and we've always wanted to do this, so we might as well.
So we can keep our fingers crossed that this is coming.
You're producing, and are you acting as well in it?
Oh wow! So you're just an all-rounder.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic! Can't wait to see it and find out the secret theme that you're not revealing yet, but I'm sure we'll get to know about it soon enough. Thank you so much. Well, it's now time for a very short break, but we will be right back.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. The table is full with Timmy and T-Boss, and Timmy and T-Boss are going to be letting us know their thoughts on abstinence before and in marriage. Timmy right here is married, so we might as well start with him.
Oh my God.
Hello, my friend Timmy Dakolo. Did you abstain before you married? What are your thoughts on abstinence in general?
Actually, I didn't. I didn't. And but yes, abstinence is good, and
no, but they be honest. Timmy.
So I'm being honest. Okay, let's bring out the truth.
Yes,
what do you feel about
marriage
abstinence?
Marriage is honorable with bed undefiled. Yes, that being said, it's dicey. It's dicey. I've seen people that get into marriage, and during the marriage they now see that it's bad sex.
The person can do.
People who abstain,
yes.
Okay.
And get into the marriage and it's bad sex. And let us face the truth. Sex is a very important aspect of marriage. It is.
Okay.
if it is bad, it is bad.
Wow.
Okay. And people just going to be getting angry. Okay. You don't know why people are getting angry.
So, okay, my question is, are you saying that if you were going to do it again, would you abstain?
I would, but I would know certain things.
That's what you see. I wanted to ask that question. Even if you don't do the chuku complete,
let's give me to somebody.
No, but let's speak. We're all
because the reason I'm asking
if you don't go the long way, i.e.,
where they say yes.
But you can find out somebody.
When they say, okay, don't go to the girl's house.
Yeah.
Don't go to the guy's house.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not up for discussion. You should go.
Okay.
You should see if the person has an erection, actually.
But you can feel it.
Okay.
No.
Timmy, why do you say that?
Surprised. Because people have married people and after then, nothing happened. Junior had no business. Junior was dead and gone. And now, okay, let's see. This girl has been waiting like all her life for that one good night that changes everything. And then we're there. And Gina is asleep all through.
But if there's love, wait, can't take
I always tell people that love thinks.
Okay, T-Boss, you said you hailed Timmy when he said what he said. What do you think?
No, I think I'm sorry, but I have to be honest. I must sample the goods. I have to sample the goods. I can't even be abstinent before marriage.
No, but then you don't have to, you can sample the goods without going the whole 9 yards.
I want to go the whole 9 yards.
Okay, but T-Boss, have you ever had a situation where you sampled the goods in your own words, like you're saying, and afterwards things started going downhill and you started going a bit emotionally crazy because you're like, I've given this guy, and this is...
not calling me like he used to call me.
Exactly, so that's the other side of it. Oh, not really, really.
So her goods brings the boys to the yards, right?
See, there's another side of this. There's another side. Sex is not just sex. People think that sex is sex. There's a spiritual side to sex.
True.
It's you're transferring some certain attributes of the person to yourself, and you're taking what it matters. Like you discuss that you are doing certain things you not used to do before. See, I read a book that says sanctify sexuality. Sometimes you must know what you're getting into. And also remember that forever is a long time for you to spend it having bad sex.
Okay, but my question though is, okay, so let's say you're dating someone, right? You love the person, you feel like you're going to get married to them, you have sex with them, it's bad sex. Do you now say you're going to break up with the person because it's bad sex?
Yes. The love is dead, I'm sorry.
Because your premise of saying that you should sample is that so that you don't get into forever with bad sex. But can't you become better at sex? You can go to sex school now.
That's not my point. My point is...
Yes.
I am the guy that says...
There's someone in Lagos that does
No, see, my point is, abstinence is what it is. You should be abstinent. But you should know certain things. You should see, from discussion you will know.
How can you know from discussion? I think no. I mean, I
agree. See, I would know if somebody likes sex from the way we talk about sex.
Why don't you agree, T-Boss?
No. He said from discussion you can know. I had a partner, and this was a long time ago. I was very young, and the way he would talk about sex, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. What? When it happened, I'm like,
that's it?
That's it? Okay, maybe he was anxious. The first time is not always awesome.
Really? And you know
that's why I said it's not always. I tried again, and it was rubbish.
But can I just say something, T-Boss? The way we're talking about it is like sex is like 80% of a relationship, which I don't really think it is.
But then
do you think the significance is that important? That if the love is there, compatibility, you have the same vision and goals for your life, and the sex is bad, is it really the end of the world?
Can I say something here just before you answer, T-Boss? I think I seem to be on their side or more on Timmy's side because I've been married before, and I can tell you that love is not love is that dots after the flour, the milk, the egg. Love is not what keeps a couple together. It's friendship. There are other things, because in a marriage you'll be tested. So sex is just one of those things that you don't want to have to worry about.
Even if a guy is good, he might be good for another girl versus you. There'll be certain things you like versus another person. So, like, every time, because I have a friend who keeps saying, she's like, Bolanle, I don't understand why you're abstaining. That's how you get married and you find out your guy is gay. Do you understand? No,
but
she always says
that one is happening.
Which is what Timmy is saying is that you need to make sure the person has an erection. Because no, I don't think it's that way. Do you understand? Because the honest truth is that in this day and age, we don't know who anybody is, and people are using
men are looking for girls saying they're abstaining to hide.
Do you understand? And they are using it to hide the fact that they are into guys. So what she's always saying is she's like, I'm really worried for you that you end up, and I'm like, God forbid it will not happen. But I'm not going to say because I'm worried about whether he's good at sex or not that I'm going to end up having sex with him, because I think that when you have sex with someone before you're married, it literally just carries. It's just too much pressure.
You know what? I agree with you. And you know what, guys? We have to go on a quick break.
For a long time.
This conversation has been heated, and it would continue, right? Because I need to. This Balani and abstinence. I need to know the grade of abstinence. Some people will say they are kissing, they are abstinent, they are. Let's know all of this and more right after this. Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. While on the break, it was so hard to keep the table quiet. Now we're back. In terms of abstinence, I really want to ask this. For those that, there might be a young girl or a guy who's watching us and thinking, we don't have sex, but we do certain things. So let's break it down and let's be real. In terms of abstinence, because it's hard. Is it abstinence, we don't hold hands? Abstinence, we can kiss, but when it gets heated, we stop. Abstinence, there's oral sex, but there's no penetration. Like, what does abstinence mean to you, Timmy?
Abstinence is abstinence. Everything is. See,
so if it goes down.
No, let me tell you what it means. You don't say you're fasting and you say I only don't eat meat.
But there's some fasting.
No, that's what I'm saying. You only eat. Yeah, that's
dry fast.
You're eating. You're okay. Your body is okay with it. You don't start a fire. You don't intend to quench.
But what if two of you are strong?
So you say you can't do even kissing? Because I know some people who don't do anything.
No, you're just saying this because you kiss actually when you're.
No, I'm not high-fiving, because there's no way that, for me, abstinence isn't.
Okay,
kissing is allowed.
Let me ask you, why are you kissing?
Why?
Because you're trying to connect to the person.
Exactly.
Sex is connection.
No, sex is like, it's like 0 and 100. Sex is 100. But you have to know if you have chemistry with somebody. So if you don't even kiss the person, is it just by looking in their eyes you'll know if you have a connection?
For example,
or there's a
I'll tell you guys, there was one guy that I was talking to, and I tried to do the no kissing thing for like maybe a month, 2 months. It was so boring. Like, not only that, like I just felt like I was hanging out with my friend the whole time.
You're so lucky because he was so patient. He waited there for 2 months and not kiss. And
you know what? So because my personal belief of abstinence is penetration. Like, I just feel like when there's no penetration, then
no. But talking oral sex. Oral sex counts.
Yeah.
How does it count?
Oral sex.
I don't even know. Are you wearing your pants? And they be giving oral sex because you really nothing is left.
To me, I'm getting graphical. You're really getting the nitty-gritty of the matter.
No, but there's no penetration. You guys don't connect like that.
Why do people get that far?
But nobody's connecting now. It doesn't enter. So there's no just. What about just the tip? Just the tip to the abstinence.
Stay there. Just the tip to the abstinence.
That's dangerous territory.
Just the tip is a bloody lie. It's a bloody lie. It's a lie, guys. There. Girls should not use that word ever. We'll feel angry.
When you guys does just the tip and just does the tip.
Just the tip. How much control? Does it like have the shoulder? That when you get the tip, you gotta go. I need to understand.
Okay, but do you feel like oral? So do you feel like oral sex is sex?
It's sex.
Yes. Even if nobody comes.
Fondling. Fondling
is not sex. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
No. That's taking it too far. When
someone is fondling, like, let me use the word breast. Do you know?
So moaning is sex, yes?
You really okay, do you get wet? Getting wet to do what? To wash clothes? I want to understand. If you're abstaining, you're abstaining. If you're not, you're not.
To me, it's too far.
Why are you using the wetness to wash clothes?
I see Timmy's point, because this American. I agree. This American babe. You guys know Heather Lindsay. She's like a purity advocate, and she talks about how she didn't even kiss her husband until her wedding day. Like, she prayed to God.
No, it is not extreme.
But that is the extent of what some people believe.
See, marriage is honorable with bed undefiled. Is it on the pole?
Why do I feel like it's because you did not practice that? You're trying to make
I'm just saying that, see, there are two sides to this thing, and it is both ways are dangerous. You don't want to spend forever with someone that the sex did not get better, according to you, that he will learn it. They know they learn bad habits for old age.
Go for training.
Yes, if he doesn't you get frustrated. Just imagine only the guy keeps coming every time. Come and sleep. You come, you sleep, then you be there.
What now?
Okay, but look at me. The way you're talking here, I have to ask you. So in marriage, can you abstain? Have you abstained with your wife since you've been married?
I don't understand what that even means.
No, if
she says give me a break, or if I say give me a break, I'm doing something. That's different. Not like two of us will just sit down and say 1 month we will not knock. God forbid. See, it's the thing. Communication is the lifeline.
Yeah. Okay.
Of every relationship. Let me grade it. Communication. First of all, I have to be your friend. From there, we have to know it to see. I believe that when people don't see, if a guy sees a girl and tell her the first day, I love you, it's crazy. because I believe that to love someone is to know someone. It's to a certain level. You can never know to love the person. Yeah. But sex is knowledge. Let me go from the Bible angle. And Adam knew Eve.
Was there marriage before he knew?
He may have known her mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Physically, is knowing her as in some form of relationship.
But you know the thing is though, like what if you're in a situation where you're fasting? You guys are doing
husband and wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you can do nothing is happening.
That's the abstinence.
No, we can't.
Yeah, that's the abstinence in marriage.
Man, this is Nigeria. Things are happening.
Well, sometimes you might not be doing fast. Sometimes maybe
she's just not interested.
Yeah, she's not in the mood. She's not in the mood. That is different. Not like you just take 30 days.
Exactly.
Who's not even in the mood for 30 days? What happened? Are you running the country?
Maybe, but that's the thing to me. If sex is not good, that's what happens.
Yeah, see, if sex is not good, it will affect marriage. That's what leads to most cheating.
So you no, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. But I think
see, let me tell you, I'm a married man. If two of you knock, as in really knock, if you see knock and apply,
exactly. Why are you going out?
No,
some men can still knock and go and meet their girlfriend outside.
Why are we using the word knock?
I don't think so.
The word knock. I like that word knock.
Can we
I started using it.
Make love. Make love is just too much good English inside there. Knock, wife, match. But I got boy.
Shag.
We say
shag. You can use shag.
So we do have a tradition on this show where we ask our guests to share with us their celebrity secret, something nobody knows about you. If you've had a one-night stand, feel free to put your hand up at this point.
Oh, nice. Well, I did do something to my ex-boyfriend one time, and I stole his phone.
Okay, there we go.
Did you look inside and?
Yes, I knew the passcode to the phone, and I duplicated his phone.
Oh, you did those things where you turn a bug. Girl, I gotta
your future boyfriend.
Yeah, like a real CIA.
I need to bug another man's phone.
Everything from his phone to myself. And
what?
Yeah, I even had a conversation with his sisters as him.
Wow.
Okay, Timmy, so what's yours?
I don't have bad habits. I don't have any secrets. I like playing video game. PS4, you kill me.
Yeah, but you must have like a vice or something that you do when no one else is looking.
What do I do when no one is looking? I still take things from my fridge, like meat. I go downstairs and steal from my pot. Like wake up in the night, like it's still fun though. Like
why?
Tiptoe and
then your wife wakes up and she notices and she's like, are you
No, we used to level it and I use the spoon and level it. Really? Yeah. I still level it. I just level. You know when you take stuff, the deep hole, like the pit to be there. I just, if you have experience in it. I just level it. Sometimes I just wake up hungry.
Oh my God, this was one fun episode. We have to have you guys back. You guys definitely have to come back. Thank you guys for sharing your thoughts. We can't wait to have you on yet another episode of Girls Talk. And we have to pick another topic that we can have.
Another juicy one, right?
I think so. Timmy, stop stealing meat from the pot.
Coming up, it's my own. I bought it.
You're stealing from yourself.
I know. Coming up on the show, it's In a Nutshell.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. Our conversation was so interesting. In a nutshell, despite the fact that Timmy says everything is sex, which from kissing to fondling, the only one I agree on him is oral sex. I think oral sex is sex.
I just feel so guilty.
I think oral sex is sex. No, because of, because to me, oral sex is just before sex. Like, it's really intense foreplay. There's a really high chance that if you have oral sex, you'll have sex.
I personally feel like, it's relative. You know what I mean? Like, there's arguments for, there's arguments against. I believe in abstinence, and my own version of abstinence might not be your own version. I still believe in just having some sort of excitement in the relationship, even if we know that we're not going the whole 9 yards. And it also sort of builds momentum. So we know that, oh, God.
Because what I've always thought? I've always thought, okay, you've been having sex for 2-3 years, you've been dating, then you get married, it's wedding night, what happens?
There's no excitement. In a nutshell, I believe that abstinence is everything bar penetration. So I think as long as you're not going the full 9 yards, you're still, you're still abstaining. And I think, you're still abstaining, and at least, like you said, there's still some excitement in the relationship, and there's still some attraction. Because sometimes I think if you're not doing anything, how do you know, if you have chemistry with that person? How are you not just friends? You know what I mean? So I think there has to be a certain level of excitement.
On that note, It's been a very interesting episode. Timmy, he was just unruly, but then he did say some very valid and important things as well. We hope that you had as much fun as we had putting this together for you. Remember to tune in again on the next episode of Moments Girls Talk Nigeria. And remember,
if you can think it, you can do it. Goodbye.